Caitlin drama-filled season rolls on, plus Ohtani hits 100. Good morning. Maximize your own generational talent today. Fever pitch. Temperature rising around Clark, Indiana. The Indiana Fever are the most talked about team in the WNBA, for obvious, read Caitlin Clark, reasons. But they're also supposed to be a team in the W, and they've had a bizarre first month and change of the season. Think about all that's happened. Clark got hurt early and missed 5 games with a quad strain. When she's played, she's been good, but not quite like she was when she tore up the league down the stretch last year. Now she's hurt again, with a groin issue keeping her out of games on Thursday and Friday. Every Clark injury is a problem for the Fever and also becomes a big story about what it all means for the WNBA, in a way other injuries do not. The star has been in the middle of some ruckuses. Every hard foul against Clark becomes its own story about how the WNBA does or does not protect its most famous person. She's sometimes chippy, and opponents are chippy with her. There was also Clark's own flagrant foul against Angel Reese, her rival from their college days. Then there is the non-Clark stuff. The team has dealt with tabloid-wide drama centered on the personal life of new acquisition Sophie Cunningham. It's been stressful. Pissed. This and all links below are free to read. The Fever just waived a 6-time All-Star who'd only arrived this season. Dewana Bonner, who had asked for a trade, said the fit did not work out. Not many players of her stature, even at 37, get cut loose 6 weeks into their first season somewhere. Amid all of it, the Fever aren't playing that well. A team that hoped to make a deep playoff run this year is off to an 8-8 start. On the one hand, Indiana is a compelling story even without Clark. On the other hand, the attention is probably ratcheted up because she's on the roster. I asked Ben Pickman, a women's hoops reporter about these dynamics. Yes, Clark is having an all-star caliber season. She'll almost definitely be a starter in the exhibition. But she has also missed time due to injury for the first time in her professional career. Add in Clark being at the center of conversations surrounding officiating and the Bonner departure, and this first half of the season has given people lots to discuss. Also, note this point from Ben. Indy hosts All-Star Weekend starting July 18th, and that will be yet another microscope event for Clark. Could she take part in her first 3-point shootout as a pro? That would certainly bring some more juice to All-Star Friday night. On Friday, Jurgen Klopp called the Club World Cup the worst idea ever implemented in football. There has been much debate regarding the merits of the tournament. Nevertheless, yesterday's round of 16 action provided a thrilling Chelsea win that took nearly 5 hours thanks to a weather delay and plenty of controversial refereeing. Perhaps even more intriguing, Messi and Inter Miami get a crack at PSG this afternoon. The Bulls traded guard Lonzo Ball to the Cavaliers yesterday in return for forward Isaac Okoro. Ball, still just 27 years old, has spent the last 4 seasons in Chicago but played a total of just 70 games. Despite the chronic knee issues, Ball can be a productive bench guard for Cleveland if he can stay healthy. The Bulls, meanwhile, have netted 0 first-round picks in moving Ball, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine over the last 2 seasons. Zach Harper has trade grades here. Dave Parker, a legendary Pirates outfielder who was set to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next month, died yesterday. He was 74. As NHL free agency looms, the Golden Knights are discussing a sign-and-trade to acquire Mitch Marner from the Maple Leafs, The Athletic reports. Read the full report. Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani threw the hardest pitch of his career yesterday in just his 3rd appearance back on the mound. Ohtani remains ridiculous. The George Costanza bobblehead for the Yankees Seinfeld night in August is already pre-selling for $250 despite actual tickets to the game being available for as little as $53. In fairness, it's a pretty awesome bobblehead. Dave Parker, a legendary Pirates outfielder who was set to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next month, died yesterday. He was 74. As NHL free agency looms, the Golden Knights are discussing a sign-and-trade to acquire Mitch Marner from the Maple Leafs, reports. Read the full report. Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani threw the hardest pitch of his career yesterday in just his 3rd appearance back on the mound. Note, a real race, not a movie starring Brad Pitt. But here's an interesting story from Luke Smith about F1. the racing series, and its close collaboration with the film. Red Bull Ring is a cool track and one of the most picturesque settings in racing. After a comfortable 3-0 run through the Gold Cup group stage, the Americans move to the quarterfinals. The winner gets Canada or Guatemala in the semis. Among other things, this tournament is a World Cup audition for a bunch of USMNT players. Pulse Picks. Before the first round of Wimbledon starts tomorrow, read the fascinating behind-the-scenes story on how the All England club gets ready for Grand Slam action. It's a year-round process. Also, bookmark our Wimbledon watch guide. More. The Tennis Podcast has a killer preview. Listen up. I started watching Stick on Apple TV+. Owen Wilson is the same guy in every performance, and I'm not tired of it. Chris Branch. The Athletic FC podcast has a great series right now called Transfers That Shook the World. The latest episode, Robin van Persie leaving Arsenal to join Manchester United in 2012. Listen on Apple and Spotify. Audible books on car speakers en route to summer Little League games. A hit. Willy Wonka is clipping spoiled kids left and right. The 7-year-old begs. Chris Spro. South Carolina barbecue legend Rodney Scott's cookbook is the thing I'd put on our coffee table, if we owned one. Jason Kirk. Trader Joe's chimichurri is my new cheat code for improving otherwise super basic weekday lunches and dinners. Tori Hart. I bought a box of 1995 to 96 Upper Deck Collector's Choice Series 1 basketball cards, and a box of 1995 to 96 Upper Deck Collector's Choice Series 2 basketball cards on eBay. I will either spend the next few weeks slowly opening these packs one by one and organizing while reveling in this nostalgia, or I will do it all this weekend and organize them in a binder. This is living. Zach Harper. Ticketing links in this article are provided by partners of The Athletic. Restrictions may apply. The Athletic maintains full editorial independence. Partners have no control over or input into the reporting or editing process and do not review stories before publication. This article originally appeared in The Athletic. WNBA The Pulse. 2025 The Athletic Media Company. Process and do not review stories before publication. This article originally appeared in The Athletic. WNBA The Pulse. 2025 The Athletic Media Company.